Hello, good morning, children. This is the class of the Heavenly Parasol, grade 8 standard English. Do you know what is this? Yes, we have seen in Mahabharata using by Bhima. This is called the mace. So, this is a simple weapon. It has a heavy wooden shaft. We can see here it has a heavy wooden shaft and it is made of metal. Often it is used in wars, having a head made of stones. Sometimes the head is made of stones, but sometimes it is made of, nowadays we have it in metal. It is made of stones, copper, bronze, and steel. It is used in traditional warfare. So nowadays maces are used as symbols. Symbols means those are used in offices like government offices and university bodies or parliaments. What is mace? Mace is a weapon. And do you know what is parasol? Yes, we see the parasol used for the kings or queens. Kings, mostly it is used for kings to have the shadow. This is called as parasol. This is a parasol in the lesson used by Meghavahana. Meghavahana was a king and a great grandson of king of Kashmir. He was a great grandson, Mari Mommaga, of king of Kashmir. And once he went to get married. So there was once a beautiful princess in the town of Prajotisha called Amrita Prabha. When she came the age, the king held a Swayamvara to enable her to choose her husband. So she was given a chance to choose her husband. There many illustrious suitors, means beautiful prince, and many people, that means prince, who had heard about Amrita Prabha's beauty, they came to Swayamvara. Among these, in them, there was Meghavahana. He was a great grandson of a former king of Kashmir. Amrita Prabha shyly cast her eyes. With a shyness, she cast her eyes over the court and wondered whom she would choose. Then she went to Meghavahana's front and then she took a garland around his neck and he stood up. He was very surprised that he was chosen and he was unable to contain his joy. This is a parasol. In that lesson we have here, that is parasol, a light umbrella. So these are the words and meanings. Learn means many people who had heard about Amrita Prabha's beauty. Exquisite, extremely beautiful. When something is beautiful, we say it's exquisite, not very beautiful. We can say exquisite. Cast means giving the shadow. Spread, act of throwing something. Sovereign means a gold coin, which is very power. Dazed, surprised. Potent, sign or warning of an unpleasant future. That means having something sign what is going to happen. Impose, try to make somebody to accept, means make somebody to say yes. Expedition, a short journey with a particular aim. Very, this word we have been using in many ways, that is very tired. Wood, you all know wood is a stick. We say stick. But in this lesson, wood means a forest. Next, slain, killing violently, means is called as a barbarian. He was killing a man. So that is kill violently. Agitation, disturbed state of mind. That means not having a good state of mind. He was disturbed. Brandish, show, open and show. Barbarian, a cruel human being. Barbarian, ಕ್ರೂರವಾದಂಥ ಮನುಷ್ಯ. Victim, here living creature killed or offered as a religious sacrifice. We say in Kannada, bali koduvudu. So that is victim. Cringe, move back or lower one's body in fear. So he was having very much scared and moving in a very slow manner. Incredulity, showing disbelief. That means not believing. Vanish, you all know this, disappear. So he was a Megavahana and the beautiful princess Amrita Prabha. They both got married and the couple moved forward to seek the king's blessings. They went to take the blessings of Amrita Prabha father. As the king stepped down from his throne, the priest cried out in surprise. Your Honor, the parasol of Varuna has cast its shadow over the prince. Then he told, It's true, exclaimed the king. My son, you are favored by the gods. The father of Amrita Prabha said, This is the favor of God. Meghavahana looked up in surprise. He was very surprised and wondering at the meaning of these words. He was very happy to have the parasol. All at once, see, he saw by his side a beautiful, dazzling white parasol with exquisite decorations that was casting its shadow over him. So he was very happy to have the parasol. This is the parasol of Varuna, the lord of seas, explained the king. It cast its shadow on none else but a sovereign of the whole world. You are destined for glory and brilliance. So, Amrita Prabha's father gave the parasol to Meghavahana. Dazed by these portents and by his good fortune, Meghavahana brought his bride and the divine parasol back home. So they both came to Meghavahana's home. While coming on the way, upon his return, the ministers of the Kashmir court sought him out and offered the throne to him. We are dissatisfied. So the people, when Meghavahana came to his place, the people of the village said, We are dissatisfied with our present ruler. They said, He has devoted himself to a life of prayer, and the affairs of the kingdom lie neglected. The people suffer because of this. Your noble character and bravery are well known. So they told the ruler, the present ruler, is not so interested toward the ruling. He has devoted himself, that means he has left everything and he's doing prayers, and he's neglecting the affairs, means some problems, issues of the kingdom. Honor us the land by accepting our offer. People said to the Meghavahana, please help us. Meghavahana became the king of Kashmir. Soon he proclaimed a law against the killing of living beings. So soon he brought a law not to kill living animals or human beings. It became his ambition to conquer other kingdoms to impose this law on them as well. So he made the rules in his kingdom and even all around his kingdoms. Once, while on an expedition near the sea, the king told his weary army to rest in the shadow of some palm groves. I must use this time to plan a way to conquer the islands of Lanka, he thought. So he also thought that I have to make this law in Lanka. You all know the Lanka of Ravana was very violent. It is the land of demons, means ghosts, and needs to be taught the ways of peace. So we have to make the peace in Lanka. But how will I cross the great seas with my army? So here even Rama was having the same problem. All of a sudden, there was a cry in the air. It seemed to come from a wood by the shore. When all the people were taking rest and thinking how to pass the Lanka, how to reach the Lanka from the sea, he had a sound. Who? Meghavahana got the cry. The cry came again, and the king heard the plaintive call. What the call was? Even under Meghavahana's rule, I have been slain. In his agitation, the king did not wait to summon his officers but ran towards the wood. The king, Meghavahana, did not tell others. He went to see who is crying. Plunging through the undergrowth, he fought his way till he came to a clearing. There before him was a temple. So when he went from the forest, he saw a temple of Chandika as Durga Devi. With some sort of human sacrifice in progress on the steps, a man lay on the ground. So there was a man laying on the ground, his arms raised for mercy. So the man was raising his both the arms, please save me. And a menacing means a cry. There was a cry in his face and very helpless. Barbarian stood over him brandishing his sword. There was a barbarian who was making sharp the sword to kill the innocent man, that is victim. The Meghavahana said, "Stop!" cried the king, shocked at the sight. He was very shocked. "You wretch, you dare threaten another's life in my realm." Here, the sentence, "You wretch, you dare threaten another's life in my realm," was said by the Meghavahana to the barbarian. We have this question. The barbarian dropped his sword in terror and fell on his knees before the king. So the barbarian who was killing the another man, he came to the Meghavahana and said, "O noble one, have mercy. I am the leader of troop of barbarians that live in this wood. My little son has fallen prey to some disease. So my son is suffering from some disease, so I am killing him. If I kill him, the god Chandika Devi will make my son healthy, or my son dies." So he told, my little son has fallen prey to some disease and is on his death bed. If I kill this man, the gods will be pleased. Here the word pleased means happy. The gods will be pleased means happy. There are two meanings of please. One is request and one more is pleased. So the gods will be pleased means the god will be happy. "And save my son's life. If you prevent this sacrifice, my son dies and the rest of my troop will give up their lives with him." The king glanced towards a bundle on the temple porch and premused it to be the sacrificed boy. His heart was torn with confusion and compassion. So the king saw beside everywhere the bundle on the temple porch and presumed it to be the sacrificed boy. There was a son, and the son was crying in pain, and the barbarian was ready to kill the victim. So this all was seen by Meghavahana. "This man whom you desire to protect," continued the barbarian, "was wandering about alone and friendless in the forest. Is he of more value to you than this child with whom many persons are connected?" So the barbarian told, "King, this man is having no any friendless. That means no any friends, no family. He was roaming over the forest. I brought him to kill because my son has connected with many people other than this man. So his life is not so value as my son's. I am going to kill him." The victim sat crying on the ground. Victim? ಬಲಿ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರನ್ನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, he is called as victim. A look of terror on his face, tears fell from the barbarian's eyes. Sir, tell me what to do, he cried. I cannot see my son suffer this pain. So he told, I cannot see my son suffering this pain. The king spoke firmly. Do not be distressed. I will save your son as well as this victim. Offer my body in sacrifice to Chandika. Kill me, O barbarian. May these two persons live. The king told, O barbarian, please leave them, and if you want, you can kill me. The barbarian struggling between incredulity, means he was in a confusion. Here the word incredulity means in a confusion, and fear took up a step backwards. He moved backwards. Sir, you are the king. Your life should be protected at all times. Do not pity this victim. Let him die. His life is of no significance. So he told to the king, O king, let him die. His life is not so valued as you. Then the king shook his head impatiently. The king told, Oh, if you want to kill, you should kill me, but you should not kill the innocent man or the victim. If I can use my body to stop a killing, why should I not? Do not speak another word. Kill me. The barbarian hung his head and made no move to take his sword. If you can't bring yourself to strike at me, I will use my sword for the purpose. So saying, the king drew out his sword. So the king Meghavahana told, if you cannot bring yourself to strike at me, I will use my own sword for the purpose. The Meghavahana told to the man. The barbarian and the victim watched in horror as Meghavahana was about to strike himself. His head was covered with divine flowers of exquisite color and perfume. When the Meghavahana was ready to strike, that means cut his head off, the flowers fell on his neck and someone held back his arm. So somebody, he felt that someone is holding his hand not to cut his head. The king wheeled around in surprise and beheld a person of heavenly appearance. So there was a god in front of him. Then he realized that the barbarian, the victim, and the ailing boy had vanished. All of a sudden, he saw a flash on his neck, and there was somebody holding his hand. And after seeing that, he saw that nobody was there, not even a barbarian, not the victim, and not a boy. A divine being addressed the bewildered king. So he heard some sound, that is, I am Varuna, the lord of the seas. I have come to reclaim my parasol that was carried away from my town by the powerful Bhauma, the father of your father-in-law. So he told, somebody has took, that is, your father's father-in-law's father has took, that means Amrita Prabha's grandfather has took my parasol, so I have come here to take my parasol. It has powers to quell calamities in my land. So it has the powers to stop all the calamities into the land. I created this illusion to test your nobility of mind. So the god of Varuna said, I have come to test your nobility. That means your noble qualities. You are truly compassionate and noble. You are truly a good, noble man. Meghavahana bowed before the being divine and returned the parasol reverently to him. So, the Meghavahana returned the parasol to the Varuna. Then he asked hesitantly, O Lord, encouraged by your praise, I wish to ask for a boon. I need help to cross the waters so that I may conquer the island. Then Meghavahana said, if you want the parasol, I'll return you, but I need one boon. That means ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ವರ ಕೊಡಿ. ಏನನ್ನ? I have to cross the water. That means a sea with my people. Varuna smiled. So be it. When you desire to cross the ocean, I will pull away the water. Then he disappeared with parasol. So Varuna said, "Oh, this is. I will. If you want to cross the ocean, you say me. I will pull the water and I'll make you the way." The following day, on the same day, Meghavahana assembled his troops on the shore. Meghavahana told all his soldiers and everyone to cross the sea. The water swelled and crashed on the sand, and the soldiers trembled at its might. Meghavahana rode forward and plunged into the foaming ocean. All at once the waters parted, and the king, smiling at his troops' astonishment, beckoned them to follow him. In this wondrous manner, Meghavahana reached Lanka. So, when the Meghavahana went and jumped in the water, suddenly the water moved to the both the sides and they made a way. Meghavahana reached Lanka and won over its king Vibhishana in the form of friendship. He went to Vibhishana and he wanted to make peace. So he requested him and he was having good friendship with the Vibhishana. On returning home, Amritaprabha welcomed him and then looked around in confusion. Now Amritaprabha was shocked. She asked him, "Where is the parasol, my lord?" She asked. "It never leaves your side." So, my father gave you the parasol. It will never leave your side. And now I couldn't see it. Where is it? It was never mine to keep. So he told, "It was Varuna's, and your grandfather took it and gave it to me, but it was his and I returned him. It was never mine to keep. ಅದು ಯಾವತ್ತಿಗೂ ನಂದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. Yet the mark of favor shown to me by its divine owner will guide me through my life. So the owner, that means the Varuna, will be helping to me. As he spoke, the skies darkened as if the parasol was casting its shadow over him, even from its heavenly abode. So when he said this, the sky was fully darkened to give the shadow to the Meghavahana. So in the next continuation of this class, we are going to discuss the question answers of this lesson. Thank you for watching and please share, subscribe if you liked the video and please comment.